Hi guys, and welcome to this brand new guitar course. It's the BB36 beginner guitar course. This course is designed for complete beginners. You guys who have been asking us to please teach you how to play the guitar. This is what we did. We came up with a 15 video course that's designed to take you from knowing nothing about the guitar to being well on your way to becoming a really good guitar player. Our lessons include, on this video, the first one is how to buy your guitar. We're going to have lessons on how to tune your guitar, how to read chords, how to read tabs, the first chords you should learn, all of that good stuff. We're going to be posting one video every week. So this is the first one today. Next week, next Friday, we're going to have another one. So yeah, before we get to the video, I want to thank our sponsor Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of different video courses on any topic. So if you're into photography, if you're into web designing, graphic designing, if you're into music, anything, you just search what interests you and there will be several different courses available you can choose from. These courses are all premium courses, high quality courses that you can follow. And yeah, even when it comes to playing the guitar, I have a course here open right now. It's by Get Army. It's the Player's Guide to Major Scales. So if you want to improve your guitar skills later on when you know how to play the guitar, then definitely check this course out. It's a really popular one. I just popped it up now. One thing I love about Skillshare is that it's curated for learning. So that means there are no ads to annoy you while you're learning. And they're always coming out with premium lessons. So you're never going to run out. So definitely check them out. And for the first 1,000 people who click the link in the description below, you're getting one entire month free Skillshare. So that's everything Skillshare has to offer for an entire month, completely free. So yeah, make sure to check out the link below. Sign up for that free trial. Yeah, check it out definitely, please. And thank you again, Skillshare, for sponsoring this video. In this video, I'm going to be helping you guys make your first ever guitar purchase. I'm not going to be telling you exactly which guitar to get because a lot of that is going to be your preference and what you need. So instead, I'm just going to be giving you tips on how to choose a guitar that's right for you. So the first thing you need to do is to think about what type of guitar you want to get. Now there are three main types of guitars. The first one is a classic guitar. So these are some of the oldest guitars, I think. You can usually see them in any type of classic music. They have nylon strings, and I'll show a picture up here somewhere so you can see what that kind of looks like. So that's it. And the next one is an electric guitar. I'm sure you've seen a lot of electric guitars before. These guitars, they don't actually produce a lot of sound on their own, so they need to be plugged into an amp or a music interface so you can hear them well and you can add all those effects and things. And the last type of guitar is the acoustic guitar, which looks exactly like this. This is the most common type of guitar. I'm sure you've seen a lot around. It's essentially a wooden body with a neck, steel strings, and some tuning pegs up here. So that's an acoustic guitar. Now when it comes to acoustic guitars, there are actually two types. This one is just an acoustic guitar. As you can see, there's no strings attached, there's no wires or any electronics there. And the second type is the acoustic electric guitar. Now that one has some electronics inside. So I have a Yup here. That's an acoustic electric. I know it's not a guitar, but this is what it's going to look like. This is what it's going to have if you get an acoustic electric. There's going to be an output jack here with sometimes a slot here where you can put the 9-volt battery to power up this electronics here. So you have some adjustments here. You have a volume, bass, treble, and this one even has a built-in tuner. And somewhere in there, there's a pickup that picks up the sound from the strings and it converts it into electronic signals, which you can then use. You can plug it into an amp, just like the electric guitar. Plug into an amp or plug it into your interface. That's perfect for if you're doing performances, gigs, or you want to do recording. An acoustic electric guitar would be perfect for that. But if you're just learning how to play the guitar, then you don't need any of that. You just need a plain old acoustic guitar. This will do perfectly fine, and this is what I recommend for beginners, because you're also going to save some money, because on the acoustic electric guitars, because of all the electronics, the price goes up a little bit. So if you want to save a little bit, you just get yourself a plain old acoustic guitar. Okay, so another very important thing you need to prepare before you make your first ever guitar purchase is your budget. Acoustic guitars can range anywhere from 1,500 pesos all the way to like 50,000 plus pesos. So you need to decide how much you can afford and how much you're willing to spend on your first acoustic guitar. For me, the sweet spot when it comes to first beginner acoustic guitars is around 8,000 pesos, because in that price point you're going to get some really good sounding guitars that are going to last, like they can even last a lifetime if you maintain them well. Now if that is above your budget, that's completely fine, because you can still find great guitars below 8,000, below that sweet spot. And yeah, I'll give you some tips later on how to choose like a cheaper guitar, some tips on how to buy a cheaper guitar. And if your budget goes above, like if you want to spend more, then why not? If you can afford it, then why not? But the thing there is, if it's your first ever guitar and you're not so sure you're going to be playing even in the next 5 years or so, then maybe that's not such a good idea. It might just turn out to be a big waste. And don't ever think that getting something cheaper is going to somehow slow down your learning process, because it really doesn't matter how much your guitar is. I started with a guitar that's worth 1,500 pesos, and with that guitar I learned all my basic chords. I learned how to do some finger picking. I even learned some solos just with that guitar that cost 1.5. So yeah, it doesn't really matter that much, like how much you put into a guitar. It's not going to affect how fast you learn how to play the guitar. So yeah, just keep it in mind. Set your budget, because at the end of the day, it's really up to you how much you're willing to spend on your first guitar. So yeah, set the budget. Okay, so the next thing is to decide where you're going to buy your guitar. So there are two main places. You can buy it in store. That's either a music shop or a guitar factory if you live near one, or you can buy it online. Now, the preferred option would be an actual music shop, because you can actually look at the guitar, you can feel it for yourself and see if you like how it sounds, how it feels in your lap. And you can also ask the people in the store what they recommend for beginners. But online is actually becoming more popular now, because for one thing, it solves availability issues. So if the stores nearby, if the stores in your city do not have the guitar you want, you can easily go online and get that exact guitar. So that's one reason you have more options available online. And number two, just recently the COVID precautions, people don't want to go out. So yeah, buying a guitar online just at home could be a good idea. So yeah, decide where you want to buy, if it's in store or if it's online. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about brands, because a lot of people when they're buying a guitar for the first time, especially, they want to know like what's the best brand for this guitar. And if you want to go that direction, that's completely fine. Some recommendations I have would be in the mid range, so that's like the 8,000 peso, like the sweet spot. I would recommend Yamaha in that range, Fender, Epiphone. What else would I recommend? This is Donner. I got this, and you can get this in Amazon actually. It's also in that range, and it's also a really good high quality guitar. The reason why some people prefer getting good brands is because they can be confident that they're getting a good instrument, because I mean the brand is very reputable. So like Yamaha, for example, they've been around for many years and people just love the name. They have excellent music instruments, so you can kind of be confident on whatever Yamaha guitar you're getting. But you don't necessarily have to get a branded guitar. There are other brands that are less popular that are also really good. But if it's your first ever guitar, just try to stick with the budget, and just make sure you're getting from reputable stores. You don't really need to worry too much about getting the brand. So yeah, that's just something to keep in mind. Again, for recommendations in the mid-range, for me it'll be Yamaha, Fender, Epiphone, this one, Donner, and actually Fernando guitars. I'm not sure if it's a local brand or a China brand, but I see them a lot in like JB Music stores. They're actually good. I've used one on a few performances and they're quite good. They're well built, they sound good. So that's another brand you can look into if you're in the mid-range. For the higher end, of course, you have your Taylor, you have your Martin. My favorite one is Martin. Yeah, those are your higher end guitars. If you can afford those for your first ever guitar, then why not get those? On the lower end, some brands. I know RJ Guitar. I haven't actually tried them, but I know they get good reviews, RJ guitars, and some of their guitars are in the lower end. I mean the lower price range. And also I know Davies is quite popular in Shopee. It gets thousands of purchases and 4 to 5 star reviews. So if your budget is in that range, you could definitely check Davies out. Anyway, I'll leave a list in the description below. I'll give you some brand recommendations for the higher end, the mid range, and the lower end. So yeah, just check that out in the description below. When it comes to buying your guitar in store, the most common place to buy would be a music store. The most popular ones are JB Music, we have Lyric, we have RJ Guitar, we have Audiophile Components. Those are some of the most popular music stores out there. These are usually located in malls, big malls, and you might even find in other locations. I can put a list below if you want to look of good music stores, popular music stores. Now, if you're fortunate, you might live in a location where there's a local guitar factory nearby. That would be a very good thing. You can look there for your first guitar. But then you also have to kind of be careful, especially if you don't know much about the factory. Try to gather information before you go shopping there. Make sure that the customers are happy. Make sure they're doing like they're producing good guitars, because some factories, I mean, we never know. There's so many factories out there. Some are really good, and then others they overprice their guitars. They don't make very good guitars, and they sell it at higher prices. So you don't want to buy your first guitar there. So yeah, just make sure if you're buying in a factory, do your research, do your homework. And yeah, so that's the reason why it's a little easier to buy from popular music stores, is because they've already built a reputation, and you can also find big brands in music stores usually. So that's just the difference. But yeah, I'm not stopping you from going to a local factory, because my first guitar was from a local guitar factory and it was really good. It lasted a long time. So just check the reputation, check what people are saying about them, the quality of output they produce. So once you've chosen your guitar after browsing a while, this is especially true for less expensive guitars. There are some things you want to check before you pay to make sure you're bringing home a good guitar. So these are really simple things, because I'm assuming you don't know much about the guitar yet, since it's your first guitar. So just a few simple things to check before you take it home. The first one is to check all the corners, all the bindings. Make sure there are no cracks, or I mean, I'm sure you can tell what a sturdy one looks like and what something filmy looks like. So just make sure to check the bindings all around the guitar. Check the neck especially. This is very important, because sometimes on really cheap guitars the neck is very soft. So check for any small cracks around there, because this is usually where it cracks the first time. Check up here, bindings, anything like that. And you also want to check the tuning pegs, because on less expensive guitars these are not very good. So a quick test would be to just give it a little turn. Just make sure it's not too tight or it's not too loose. This one seems good. Don't turn it too much, because you might break the string and you'll have to pay for that. So you just turn it a little bit, just make sure it's not too tight or too loose. And this is going to take the guitar out of tune, but at least you know your tuning pegs work. So you just check all of that. And the last one is, because in less expensive guitar, cheaper guitars, sometimes the intonation is bad. So it's how do I'm not an expert in that, but one thing to check is to see if the string sounds the same here and on the 12th fret if you just slightly touch it, very slightly. So as you can see here, this one sounds the same. It's the same note, different octave. So that's how to tell if your guitar neck is not bent either way. Like it has good intonation. So those are just 3 simple things to check before you take your guitar home. And on more expensive guitars, you don't really need to check that, but you can. It's still a good practice. But if you're taking home like a less expensive guitar, then please check that, because those are usually the things that go first. The neck cracks, the tuning pegs don't work anymore, so you can't play the guitar in tune for a long time, and the neck is bent, so your chords will sound fine up here, but when you go down or when you go up, it's off, it's out of tune. So yeah, check those 3 things before you take your guitar home. When you buy your guitar online, you have many options. Sometimes you have a lot more options because you can easily browse through different stores, different like shopping websites, and you can choose from there. But there's also some risk because you can't see the guitar, you can't hold it, you can't hear it if you're buying it online. So you have to pay for it first and wait for it to arrive, and that's the only time you can get to see it, get to listen and feel how it plays. So yeah, there's some risk there. So what I recommend is to, when you're buying online, is to always get from one of the reputable stores I mentioned earlier. Again, I'll put a full list below so you can check it out. Because a lot of these stores actually have online stores as well. So JB Music has an online store, Yupangco, which I bought that guitar from. They have an online store. Lyric has an online store, and these companies, these music stores, they not only have their own online stores, but they also sell in Shopee and Lazada. So you can usually find their own Shopee Mall or Lazada Mall pages there, and there's less risk buying from those because you know it's from these reputable music stores. So yeah, that's where you want to look most of the time. But if you're looking for like a lower cost guitar or an unbranded guitar, then there are 2 tips that I recommend doing. So this is, for example, you're searching in Lazada or you're searching in Shopee for a new guitar within your budget. You just make sure that, number 1, it has at least 500 purchases. That's the number of people who bought that exact product, and that the rating is at least 4 to 5 stars, because at least you know that 500 people are quite satisfied with that product. So don't get anything with no ratings, even though it looks like a really good deal. Just make sure to stay safe. Just stay within that 500, at least 500 purchases, and then 4 to 5 stars. I think that's the safest way to buy in either Lazada or Shopee. And yeah, I did my own search, and then I tried to look for cheap guitars there, and I found a few that I'm going to leave a link to below. I found it, the brand Davies is popular. They have like thousands of sales, and they're quite, the rating's quite good. It's like 4 to 5 stars also. So if that's your budget, then check it out definitely. It's I left it in the link below. Okay, so let's talk about the accessories. So what accessories do you need with your first guitar? The quick answer to that is you don't need any. So you can start with just the guitar and you'll be completely fine. But if you want to add some accessories, then the first one I would recommend, like the bare minimum, in the bare minimum category, will be a gig bag. So a gig bag is just a guitar bag. So some of these will be padded, some are not. Any gig bag is better than no gig bag because it protects your guitar from bumps, scratches, and even moisture. So if you're getting one accessory, get yourself a gig bag, protect your guitar. The next category is the basic category. So it's a gig bag, guitar pick, and a capo. So you can get something like this. This is a package that has a capo and a few picks. So yeah, that's the basic category. The next one is the standard category. I'm just making this up. They're just basically sets of accessories you can get. So in my standard category, you'll be getting everything in the previous categories, including a guitar strap. Let's remove the plastic. So this guitar strap is going to help you play standing up, or if you do performances, that'll be really useful. And an extra set of strings, so in case your string breaks, you can easily replace it, or if they get rusted, you can also replace it. And so that's the standard category. And then the level up category, you'll want to throw in. So the level up category, you'll want to throw in an electronic tuner. So this one is just a small device here. You turn it on. You just clip it to the head of your guitar, and this is going to help you tune. So you just play a string and it's going to tell you what note you're in. So that's going to, yeah, that makes tuning a lot easier, a lot faster, more convenient versus tuning with your ear or tuning with like an app on your phone. This one's a lot more convenient. And you also throw in a microfiber cleaning cloth. Microfiber is good for your guitar because even if you really rub down on the finish, you're not going to damage it. So yeah, that's the level up category of accessories to get. Now you need to remember that when you purchase a guitar, sometimes they come with accessories, so you might not need to get any accessories. So just make sure to check what your guitar comes with. Some come with like a whole pack. When I got this guitar, it came with a whole pack of everything I just mentioned. So that's a good package. But again, you really don't need any accessories to start playing the guitar. Okay, so that is it for this video. I hope that after watching this, you're now more confident to go to the store or go online and make your first ever guitar purchase. And yeah, if this was helpful in any way, please give it a thumbs up. And the next video is going to be about how to use the guitar you just bought. So stay tuned for that. It's coming out next week, next Friday. So make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you get notified when it comes out. Again, I want to thank our sponsor also, Skillshare, for sponsoring this video. Please check them out, give them some love, and make sure to apply for your free trial. So it again is in the first link in the description below. If you have any suggestions or recommendations or any comments about this video or about videos you might want to see, lessons you might want to learn, please leave them in the comments below, because I'm going to be reading through everything, and we might even adjust a few of our upcoming videos depending on what you guys say. So yeah, feel free to comment, let me know anything you want to see or recommendations or anything like that. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.